Hey guys, it's Madison and I'm back today with a brand new video, a very long overdue video that I've been wanting to do honestly for a really long time. But here we are. It's been 3 years since my last video, and today I am going to just catch you up on what all I've been doing, where I've been, and where I am now. So if you're interested at all, just keep watching. Okay, so I wrote down a couple notes on my notepad here just because I didn't want to leave anything out. 3 years is a long time, and a lot of really big lifetime milestones have happened for me between then and now. So I just wanted to make sure I fill you guys in on everything, and I'm going to try and insert some photos and video clips for you to kind of see the journey along the way of what I'm going to talk to you about. So 3 years ago, I was still in college. I was, just making videos whenever I had free time, when I wasn't hanging out with friends or studying or working. And it has always been, YouTube had always been just a hobby, a fun hobby of mine that I started whenever I was 16 years old in high school. I always grew up and would just watch YouTube videos about how to do your makeup or what clothes to wear, how to style your clothes, and I always thought it would be so much fun to make my own YouTube channel. So whenever I was about 16 years old, I told my mom, hey, this is something I really want to do. Is that something you'd be okay with, and would you help me do it? So she was super awesome, and of course was like, yes, I love that you want to express your creativity, and I'd love to help you with it. So she really was super awesome with just, encouraging me to follow something that I was excited about. And she actually helped me film my videos and edit my videos and give me ideas. And, it was really, really fun and a bonding experience that I'll never forget that I had with my mom. So all of those videos, it's really funny to look back on because I'm so young. I think those first videos, I even had braces. So I was just a girl and, wanting to do something fun. I felt inspired. I still feel inspired. But that kind of took me into my college years. And, in high school, it was everything I wanted to do. I was like, I can't wait to go home to film another video. And then in college, as you're transitioning into a whole nother chapter of life, you make new friends, you have, more serious relationships, and just school and work in general, the balance of juggling all of that. YouTube wasn't as much of my priority because I was just, trying to figure out who I was. And it was something that I did whenever I had extra spare time. And honestly, I wish that I made a more of a commitment to myself of this is who I am, this is something I've always loved doing, but at the same time, you never know how you're gonna handle different situations or, different life changes. So I don't regret anything, and I still made videos whenever I felt like it. And I always loved it, and I loved the friends that I made from YouTube and just all of the different people that would watch me and reach out to me. I love those conversations. And after that, so the last video, I was in college still. I think it was 2018 was my last video, and I ended up graduating, or maybe it was 2017, but I graduated in December of 2018. So I have been out of college three years now. It is currently the very end of November, so it's crazy to think that was 3 years ago. I can remember filming that video like it was yesterday. I think I did it between classes, and right after I finished filming, I sprinted, out the door to go to class, and then, edited at some point after that. But I just remember, I really want to make a video today, and I just did it. So it's just so funny that was 3 years ago. But anyways, a lot has happened since then. Like I said, I graduated in December of 2018. And then, after that, it was a transition time for me for sure. I had gotten a new job, I think in November, right before I graduated. And I worked there for a couple months and I moved out. I was living in an apartment in the city that I live in, still currently live in, and you know, it was just a really awesome chapter of independence and finding out who I am. And honestly, I had just gotten out of a more serious relationship, but I was just trying to find out who I was, you know, now that I was single and graduated, trying to find your identity. And you know, that's kind of a difficult thing to do, especially once you're out of the scene that you're so comfortable in. It was definitely a challenge for me. So I have my family and friends to thank for being there for me during that time of just figuring out what I even wanted to do and where I was. And along that way, it was about May of the following year that the company that I was working for actually like let everyone go because they were, I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. The story was that the company was liquidating and they had to let everyone go. And so, long story short, that was just like a big blindside to me. You know, I'm just now thinking I'm getting my career started and I'm super excited about this new chapter. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so now I don't have a job. I'm living on my own. Thankfully, I pretty much just was saving my paychecks at that point, leading up to that, not for any specific reason, just because I was trying to manage my money and be wise about it. So I was able to, you know, stay in my apartment that I was in for a while, and looked for jobs and interviewed for jobs all throughout that summer of 2019. And then in August of 2019, the best thing that I could have ever asked for happened to me. You know, in the midst of being discouraged and let down and trying to navigate through, you know, this really big letdown of like, I just kind of felt pathetic. Like, okay, so I don't have a job. I'm single. I'm really trying to like get myself out there in interviews and everything, and nothing was working out. So I just really felt defeated. I was at my lowest point of confidence at this time. You know, trying to save every penny that I had left. And so in August of 2019, my cousin from Texas came into town to stay with me, and he really wanted to go to this country concert that was in where I live. They have like there's this place that has a summer concert series, and they have all these different, you know, country singers come and sing. And there was a specific country singer, his name is Wetzel. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is, but he's one of my now favorites. But my cousin really wanted to come to town to go see him and wanted me to go with him. So, you know what, like if he wouldn't have come to town and made me go to this concert, I probably wouldn't have gone. But it was fun, and it was a way for me to get my mind off things and just, you know, have a good time. So we go to this concert, and as soon as we walk in, I see this guy standing up near the stage, just closer up to the stage. I just see him standing there. He has a drink in his hand, and I like, you know, hit my cousin, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, do you see that guy up there? And he's like, yeah, like, what about him? Doesn't care. And I'm like, he is probably like the most attractive guy I've ever seen in my life. Like, he is real cute. And he's just, you know, whatever. He's like, oh yeah, he's a good looking dude, whatever. And, you know, we're getting our drinks, and I'm like, can you tell if he's with anybody? Like, does he have a girlfriend? Does it look like he's here with someone? And of course, my cousin being my wingman, he's like scoping out the situation, and he's like, no, it doesn't really look like he's with anyone. And I'm like, well, that's good to know. Anyways, don't really think anything of it. We go about getting our drinks, and then, you know, more and more people are showing up. It's starting to get more crowded, and so I'm like, go save us a spot near the stage, and I'm gonna try and go to the bathroom before the show starts. So I run to the bathroom. There's a long line of people, and this guy, or just this person, you know, like taps me on my shoulder. I wasn't expecting it, and lo and behold, it is the guy that I, you know, saw earlier that I thought was so cute. him tapping me on the shoulder out of all people here and is like, hey, how are you doing? You know, how's the family? Let me introduce myself. You know, my name's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I recognize his last name, but I did not recognize who he was. I had to text my mom and be like, hey, do you know who Frank Sprick is? He just like came up to me at this concert and introduced himself. And he's like, how are your sisters? How are your parents? And I'm like, I just could not believe that this guy that I spotted in the first place is like coming up to me and actually knows me. So anyways, he's like, it was good to see you. We need to catch up later, whatever. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Turn around, I'm like, what just happened? Like, is that actually real life? So anyways, go to the bathroom, get out of the bathroom, and I'm looking for my cousin to see where he's standing. He is literally, where he saved our spots is directly beside Frank. So I'm like, oh wow, this is perfect. So I go and meet up with him. We're standing like right beside each other. Anyways, long story short, we're by each other the whole concert. We are just like kind of talking, singing along, swaying with each other. Like, I don't know. We just had an immediate attraction to each other. And by the end of the concert, he was like, it was so good running into you. He gave me a big hug and was just kind of like, yeah, I'll see you later. And then, we part ways. Me and my cousin go back to my apartment. We're just hanging out. And later that night, Frank actually, messaged me, I think on Instagram, and I was like, would it be totally weird if I asked you out on a date? And of course, that was like, I was wondering, what is ever gonna come of this? Was that just like a cool evening, hanging out, like running into this past friend? So I need to tell you how I even knew him in the first place. So basically, whenever I was born to 3 years old, I lived on the same street as him. So I'm the baby of my family. He used to play with like all of my older siblings and like come to my house all the time, but I was the baby of the family. So like, obviously that's why I didn't remember really. But he remembered me. He is 7.5 years older than me. So obviously he remembered me. He was a little boy, I was a baby. Anyways, that's the story. That's how we know each other. So that's why he was like, would it be totally weird if I asked you on a date? Anyways, me being me, I said, of course not. I definitely wouldn't turn you down. So we end up going that very next night on a date, and it's just, that's a whole nother story in itself that I think I'll have to make into another video. But that's what happened in August of 2019. I met Frank Sprick, who is my now husband, the love of my life, and he completely turned my world upside down in the best way possible. He was able to really just encourage me and support me and bring me up and bring that confidence that I used to have back in me. Shortly after we met in August, we made things official in that October, and that is around the same time that I landed an awesome job that I loved so much while I was there. I always say I really don't think I would have gotten that job after that interview if it wasn't for him. Really, he was like literally practicing interviewing with me. Like, he just really brought out all of those parts in me that I was missing and that used to be there but wasn't there anymore, and just really made me feel loved. So I have a lot to be grateful for whenever it comes to him. He brought me back to life. So that happened, and then honestly we fell in love so quick. I don't even know why it took us 2 months to start dating. We basically were dating from that very first date. He stopped talking to anyone he was talking to, and I did the same after that very first date because I just knew how real it was. And we had some very deep conversations on that first date. It lasted literally all night long. So it was just pretty instant that I knew he was the one. So that was pretty much the rest of 2019. And then I think we were dating for 8 months before he proposed. And of course I said yes. He proposed the weekend right before my birthday. It was on April 25th and my birthday's on the 27th. Easiest answer I've ever given in my life. He is amazing, and I am so thankful that I have him. As you know, COVID is definitely still a thing, but it was really a thing whenever we got engaged and everything. So we were immediately just like, we don't have to go all out with a wedding or anything. We really were ready to get married, and we didn't have a very long engagement, and we got married at my parents' place. They actually had a barn built for us. Kind of crazy. We just had an idea, like, originally we asked them if it would be okay if we got married in their backyard. We just wanted to have a small wedding, and we could have the reception and dance floor on their driveway. And then that idea, once we told my parents, kind of became, you know what, we always host big gatherings. We've always wanted to build a barn. This is a perfect excuse for us to do it. And some way, somehow, they were able to get that done within the 5 months that we were engaged, before October 17th of 2020, which is our wedding date, and when we got married, obviously. So yeah, it was kind of crazy. Those 5 months, I really feel like flew by. And then I'm just wanting to take you through like my biggest highlights of what's happened in the past 3 years. So then in December of 2020, my Christmas gift, my big Christmas gift of that year, was my sweet dog, Theodore. I had been wanting a baby dog for a long time, and Frankie knew that. So that is honestly the best Christmas gift I could have ever gotten. He is 1 year old now. He just turned 1 on November 3rd, so a month ago. Yeah. And then, let's see, I have to look back at my notes here. That, I think, was all of 2020, big highlights of 2020. Getting engaged, getting married, getting our baby dog. And then, in July of this year, 2021, we found out that we are expecting a baby girl. So as of late, that's all I can think of. That's all I'm looking forward to. I'm so very thankful and blessed that we were able to, even have a baby. That's a whole nother story that I will get into in another video. But we are having a girl, and she is due on March 29th of 2022. And her name is Marlo Ray Sprick. And we are just so over the moon and so excited for her. You can kind of see her. I don't even know if the frame's catching it, but I am definitely showing now. I'm about 5.5 months pregnant, and we are just, cruising through this holiday season, and we just know March is going to be here before we know it, and we're so excited. And I plan to do lots and lots of baby videos and nursery videos, and just what I've been experiencing along the way so far. So lots of exciting content to come. I am currently just working, and I really love the job that I'm at now, and I just really wanted to, this whole chapter of pregnancy for me has just been a lot of reflecting, and what do I want to look back on and like think about this time period that I'm in. And I want to be able to remember it all. And I want Marlo to be able to look back and see, like, wow, that's my mom, or that's my dad. That's them while they were pregnant with me. And I just really think it'd be sweet to document this time of our lives and get back into YouTube, so it can kind of be just like a living photo album of our life. So I've been wanting to do it forever. That's why I'm saying this is so overdue. I've been wanting to do this for so long. And I don't even know what it was that was holding me back. Like, I'm just used to be so, I'm still young, but like, I don't know. I used to be so good with like all the editing stuff or just coming up with video ideas, but I just think it would be really authentic for me to just film what I feel like filming and just do it because I want our family to be able to look back at this one day and just see the journey of what life is. So that's all I have for today. I just kind of wanted to catch you up on where I've been before I start just diving into all these different kinds of videos. I'll have to do a video with me and my husband so you can get to know him a little bit, so you can understand our life a little more. But as of now, I think that's all I have for today. And if you are, you know, watching this long into the video, then obviously that means you were interested at all in what I've been doing the past 3 years. And I hope that you guys will join me on this journey of just, you know, documenting our life in videos. So that's all I have for today. Please like and subscribe. I'm still getting in the hang of this again. But anyways, I will see you in my next video, and cheers.